Hello everybody, so today in this video I'm going to present you the fault-tolerance project with VirtualBox and 3 Debian VMs. So we're going to have 3 virtual machines, computer, server 1, server 2. They will all be on the same network, 172.116.1.0/24. Computer will send data to server 1. If server 1 is down, it's going to send to server 2. If both of the servers are down, it's going to send an error into an error file in computer. So we're going to use scripts. And we also have 2 other scripts. So scripts on server 1 that sends data to server 2, and another script on server 2 to send data to server 1. That's all for now. So first, I'm gonna download the ISO file. So here is a file with all the steps. So I'm gonna download the ISO file. I'm gonna use Debian, so download Debian, and I'm gonna use the 64-bit PC netinst ISO file. I'm clicking on it, and I'm downloading it. Okay, once it's downloaded, we can go and see it in the download folder. So we have it here. So now we're going to open VirtualBox and start to create the VMs. So first, click on New. I'm going to call it Computer. So it's the first VM, and I'm going to use the ISO file I just downloaded. I'm going to skip unattended installation. Next, I'm going to add 2 CPUs. Next, and finish. Okay, I'm going to start it, and I'm going to start configuring it. So I'm going to do all the process of the installation. So the language, creating the user, the clock, and everything. So I'm going to use install, not a graphical install. I'm going to go through all the process. English, United States. So I'm going to use a French keyboard, but you can use a English keyboard. Okay, here for the hostname, I'm going to use computer. Domain name, I don't have any domain, so I'm just going to click on enter. Root password, so add your root password. Now, new user, I'm going to call it computer. Choose a password for your new user, so add your password. All done. The clock, Eastern. Okay, now for the partition disks, I'm going to use the entire disk. This one, yep, enter. And now I'm going to separate home, var, and TMP partitions. Enter. Okay, finish partitioning and write changes to disk. Enter. Would you like to write those changes? Yes. Okay, now it's creating everything. Okay, so now some extra installation media. No, I don't need one. The mirror archive, United States, the default one. I don't have any HTTP proxy. Continue. Okay, now participate in the package usage survey. No. Okay, now we just not need the default configuration, so SSH server and standard system utilities. So we're going to do tab and continue. Okay, now configuring grub. Yep, I want a grub bootloader. Yes. On this installation device. Okay, when all is done, click on continue. It's going to reboot and the installation will be finished. Okay, perfect. Now we are, the VM is fully configured, fully installed. Now we will configure it. So we're gonna log in as root, the root password. Okay, brand new Debian VM computer. So now we're gonna update it. apt update. All packages are up to date, perfect. We're gonna install sudo. So apt install sudo for us to be able to use the sudo command with the user we created. Now we will add the user computer into the sudo group. So we named our user computer, so user mode -ag sudo. Okay, perfect. And we will also install rsync. Install rsync. Okay, everything's good. Now we will reboot the VM, and we will test if our user computer is able to use the command sudo. So these are all the commands here. So apt update and apt upgrade, install sudo, install rsync. We added the user, so our user's computer into the sudo group. Oh, we can also do the aliases. I'm going to do it just after. So now we're going to log in as computer, as our user, our password. Okay, computer. We're going to do sudo apt update to be sure that our user has the sudo privilege. It's asked for our password. We enter our password, and okay, our user computer has the sudo privilege. I'm going to also add aliases. So echo alias l equal ls-la l and write it into the home /bash rc. Home /bash rc. It's not this command, I forgot. Okay, enter. And so now if we do sudo nano bash rc, at the end of the file, we can see our command here, alias ll equal ls-l, la equal ls-a. So these are the default ones. And the one we added is at the end, alias l equal ls-l. So next we will do the same, but for ls-la. So double L, enter, and if we do the same command, nano, open the file, at the end we can see the two command lines, exit. So now we will shut down our computer, sudo shut down now, and we will configure the IP configuration. So to create the same network, we will create a host-only adapter. So to do that, we go on Tools, the menu bars, Network, and then so we have the host-only adapter available. We're going to create a new one. Create, it's going to be prompt with this, yes. So it's creating a host-only network interface. So it has been created, and we will add this network. So here on the bottom, we're going to change it 172.16.1.1. The mask is /24, so it's this, and we're going to apply. Yep. We're going to be prompt yes, okay, and we are going to go in the DHCP server tab, and we're going to toggle enable server. And here we can see that the first IP that will be applied for our VMs will be this one, and the last one, this one, and then apply. Okay, and here we can see that it has been changed and the DHCP server is enabled. Okay, now on computer, we'll go on settings, network. We're gonna leave the first adapter to NAT. Adapter 2, we will enable it, and we will choose host only adapter and choose the one we created. So it was the fourth one, and press OK. Now I'm going to restart it again, and we'll see if we will be able to connect to it via SSH, but we will need to configure first the static IP on it. So we're going to log in. We're going to log in as computer. We don't need any root anymore. Okay, log in as computer, the password. Okay, so now if we do IP A to show the IPs, we can see that the last adapter is down. So we'll need to configure it. So to do that, we do sudo nano etc network and interface. So we will configure the last interface to have a static IP and to be always up. So enter the password of your user. Okay, so now we have this file. We need to add two lines. So this line, auto enp0s8. So it's the name of our interface. The one that was down was called enp0s8. And we will add this other line. So enp0s8 inet and static, because we want a static IP. And we will add the address 172.161.10/24. So we need to add the same IP as this. So this is the IP of the computer. Control X, yes, enter. So if we do IPA again, it's not startup. We need to restart the networking services, network in systemctl restart networking service, enter. It's gonna take some time, 10 seconds around. And then if we do IPA again, the IP is up. As you can see, ENP0S8 has an IP. And now if we go on our computer, open a terminal, and ping this IP 172.16.1.10, it works. So we can connect to it via SSH. So we're gonna use our user. So our user is computer at the same IP 172.16.1.10. Enter. Yes. Password of the computer. Enter. And now we are in the VM. So as you can see, this IP is the same as on the VM. Okay, now we have configured computer 1. We will do the same with with server 1 and server 2. So go back to VirtualBox, Tools, go back to Welcome, and click on New, Server 1. I'm going to do server 1. I'm going to use the same ISO file. Skip an installation. Next, 2 CPUs. Next, finish. And I'm going to do the same for server 2. Server 2, ISO file, skip, 2 CPUs, next, finish. So now I'm going to start both of them and configure them, do the installation process. So here I'm going to use server 1 because it's server 1. Domain name, I don't have any domain. And here it's server 2. Server 2, enter, no domain. The root password, enter the root password. Re-enter it again. Name of the new user, I'm going to call it server 1. Server 1, enter the password of server 1. Re-enter it. Okay, and do the same here. Name of this new user, server 2, password. Okay, now time, Eastern. Okay, so depending on the device you're using and the internet connection you have, it may take longer or be faster. So that's why it's different from me. Okay, so first we are gonna log in as root on server 1. We'll do the update if there's any. Normally there's no update. We're gonna install sudo. Okay, install sudo. I'm gonna also install rsync. So rsync will be used to send files from one device to another. That's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna add the aliases echo alias ll equal ls-la and write it into the home bash rc. Enter and do the same ls-l enter. Now I'm going to reboot and do the same here. Root password apt update. apt install sudo apt install rsync. I forgot to do to add the user into the sudo group. Echo. Oh, okay, I see. Echo alias ll equal ls-la into bash rc. Enter ls-l. Okay, and user mode -a g sudo. So here it's server 2. I'm going to add the user server 2 into the sudo group. Okay, and I'm going to reboot. Logging again as root and add the user server 1 into the sudo group. I'm going to reboot. Make sure on server 2 and server 1 that the user server 2 is able to do sudo commands. Oops. Update. Okay, it can update, so it has the privileges. So sudo shutdown. Now, okay. Server 1. Sudo apt update. Enter. Okay, it has the privileges. Now we're gonna shut it down. Shut down. Now enter. Okay. So we're gonna configure the different IP addresses. So server 1 will be 172.116.1.250 and server 2 is 251. So go back on VirtualBox, server 1, settings, network, adapter 2, enable it, host only, and adapter 4. Okay, we can start the VM, server 2, settings, network, adapter 2, enable, host only, and the 4th. Okay, and we can start it. We will also add configure the hosts. So I'm going to add this into the host file for us to be able to ping the computers without adding the IP. So just typing ping computer to ping this computer, this IP, server 1 to ping this IP, and server 2 to ping this IP. So I can do it on server on a computer. So this is computer, sudo nano etc hosts, hosts with an S, we're gonna S, and we're just gonna copy and paste server 1 and server 2. We don't need this because we don't need this line computer because it's already the computer. Okay, Control X, yep, enter. So now if I do ping computer, it's itself, ping server 1, it's not up because we didn't configure the IPs. Okay, server 2, where's server 1? Server 1. So first we'll do server 1. Server 1. Okay, so IPA, as you can see, the IP is not up. The interface ENP0S8 is down. So sudo nano etc network interfaces, enter the password for server 1, and we will add those two lines, ENP0S8, enter, and add the IP, static IP, eface ENP0S8, inet static address 172.161.250/24. Control X, yep. Sudo system ctl restart networking service. Enter. Takes a little bit of time. IPA, and as you can see, the IP is up. And if we go back on computer and we do ping server 1, it works now because server 1 is up. We will do the same with server 2. Login server 2, password, IPA, so no IP, network interface, tech, okay, auto, ENP0S8. So if you have another, normally you will have ENP0S8, but if you have another name, you just need to change the name. It's static, and this time the address will be 172.16.1.251/24. Sudo systemctl restart networking service, enter. Okay, IPA, the IP is up, and if we do server 2, it works. So all the computers are on the same network, they can ping each other, so we can split tab, split. Okay, so we have computer here on top, SSH server 1 at 172.116.1.250, enter, yes, the password. Okay, we're connected to server 1. I'm going to connect to server 2, 172.116.1.251, enter, yes, the password. Okay, and we're going to connect it to server 2. Now I'm going to add those lines into the host files of server 1 and server 2. So just computer and server 2. Next, yep, enter, and do the same here. Okay, server 2 and computer and server 1. Okay, so now if I ping computer, it works. Server 1, oops, no space. Server 1, okay. Server 2, it works. And computer, it works. So all of the computers are connected to each other. Now we will need to create the data. So on the computer, we'll make a file named Fault-Tolerant. As you can see, we will enter it and create a data folder. Okay, and now in this folder, we will create files. Simple files, enter, okay, L. And in the files, we can see that we have a simple line. This is a simple text file. This is what I said. Okay, now we're gonna create the script for all this data to be transferred to server 1, and if server 1 is down, to server 2. To do this, we're going to go back to our fault tolerance folder. We only have data in it, so we're going to create a script. We have nothing in the script right now. The script is here. I'm going to copy it. Okay, Control-X, yes. I'm going to go back to it to explain to you what the script is. So the first two lines are just here to tell you which IP it is. So server 1, the IP is server 1, the IP of server 2 is server 2. So that if the IP of the server changes, we don't have to change it everywhere in the script. So this script is composed of two functions. The first function is backup data. So first it's pinging the server 1 to see if it's up. If server 1 is up, is online, there's this line that is written on the terminal. If it's up, it's gonna send the data from the folder data to the server 1 into home server 1 backup. And at the end, it's going to say backup complete on server 1. If the server 1 is offline, so if the ping doesn't work, elif exclamation mark, the ping doesn't work, this line will be written on the terminal. So server 1 is unreachable. It's going to go and try to back up the data on server 2. And it's going to go to move to server 2, the second function. So the second function is basically the same. It's just pinging the second IP. So here it's server 2 IP. If it's up, it's online. It's going to send the data, the same data, backup complete. And if the server 2 is offline, it's going to say this message on the terminal, server 2 unreachable as well. And it's going to send this command into an error log file, into this file, and it's going to write the error on the file. So no, it's going to write this message on the terminal, and then it's going to go and write the error into the error file. We don't need this line for the command. Okay, and the end backup data. Okay, so we have the script, but first, before doing that, we need to create the SSH key to send to server 1 and server 2, the public key. So to do that, we do SSH keygen keygen. So it's creating the keys. So I'm gonna do the default, no passphrase, no passphrase. Okay. So now if we go back to SSH, we can see that the public keys have been created. So now we will need to send the public key to server 1 and server 2 to be able to connect to them without any password. So for now, if we try to connect to server 1, we have to enter the password. So we're in server 1, but we enter the password. And what we want to do with the keys is to send the public key from computer to server 1 to be able to connect to it without any password. So we're gonna use the SSH copy ID. Yeah, I'm gonna use the file. So copy ID -a. So server 1, the user is also server 1, and the key is id rsa.pub. So copy the ID public key to server 1. Enter the password of server 1. Okay, so now if we try to do this command, we're gonna automatically be logged in without any password because our server 1 has our public key. So we will exit it. So that's why we don't need any password anymore, because server 1 knows that computer 1 is who he is. We'll do the same on server 2. Yep, enter the password. Okay, so now if I do SSH server 2, okay, here, that's perfect. That's what I wanted to show you. So here I sent the key 2. Okay, so password was incorrect. Okay, so I sent the key to server 2, but when I try to connect to server 2, the password, okay, no, there's no password needed. Server 2. Okay, so if I do this, the password is needed. So if I don't want to be prompted with the password of this, sometimes SSH doesn't use the key to connect. So it's this commands. Now open the config file and add those lines to be able to connect to the host. So the host is server 2. Server 2, the user is server 2, and the file is id underscore RSA. Nope. We're gonna do it again. id underscore RSA dash pub. Server 2, server 2, server 2, Control X, server 2. Yes, okay. And so now if I do SSH server 2, oh, yeah, I entered the wrong file. So ls, it's the RSA file. Okay, now I can connect to server 2 without any password, and it works. Okay, so we can do the same with server 1, because I will get the prompted with the password. Okay, I need the password. So we will change the configuration and add the same, but for server 1, id RSA, server 1, server 1, server 1, Control X, yes. And so if I do SSH server 1, I'm automatically connected to it. Perfect. I'm gonna do the same on server 1 to server 2 and server 2 to server 1. So I'm gonna SSH keychain, creating the file. So I'm gonna call it server, change the name of the key file to not id RSA, but backup to server 2. Enter. No passphrase, no passphrase. Okay. If I go to the SSH folder, oh, I didn't enter the aliases. It's okay. So as you can see, I have two files, backup to server 2 and backup to server public. So now I'm gonna do the same on server 2, SSH. So as you can see, I'm gonna show you that I don't have any keys on the server. I'm gonna create them, keygen, enter. So I'm gonna do the same, but backup on server 1. Enter, no passphrase again. And if I do ls-l again, as you can see, those two files have been created. Now I'm going to send this public key to server 1, and I'm going to send this public key to server 2 with the SSH copy. Okay, so copy the file backup to server 2 dot public key to server 2. Yes, the password. Okay, and so now if I do SSH server 2 at server 2, there's a password. That's not correct, so we need to change the configuration of the SSH. So configuration, we need to get out of server 2, configuration, and add those lines. So I want it to use backup to server 2. The user is server 2, host is server 2, server 2, Control X, enter, SSH server 2. Okay, and now I'm logged in directly, server 2 at server 2. Correct. So I can connect to server 2 without any password from server 1. I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to copy the key to server 1. So the key is named backup to server 1 dot pub. Enter. Yes. Server 1, the password. Okay. SSH server 1 at server 1. Enter. I need the password, so I need to change the. Yeah, I still need a password. So I'm going to change the SSH config file. Config. Okay, I'm going to add the file. Nope, not this line. Okay, and so the name of the file is backup to server 1. The user is server 1. Server 1. Server 1. Enter. Yep. SSH server. Okay. Nope. No such file or directory. Backup. Oh, backup on server 1. Okay. It's okay. So the name of the file, it's not to, but on. X, yes, SSH server 1. Okay, now it's using the password. It's correct, the correct file. So now everything is configured. We can connect to any server without any errors, without the password. Okay, so we have the fault tolerance. Now we're gonna create the script from server 1 to server 2 and server 2 to server 1 to copy the data. But first we need to create a folder on server 1 and server 2 for the data to be downloaded to, backed up. So we're gonna make a directory, backup. So we created a backup directory. We will do the same here. Backup directory, ls-l, backup. Okay, so we will go in it. Okay, and now we'll create the scripts. So the first script on server 1 is backup to server 2. And in this script, we will add those lines. So the first line is the IP of server 2, and the second line is to copy the data from the server 1. So home, server 1, backup. Backup is the folder we just created. Data is the data copied from computer to server 1, and we will add it to server 2 into this folder. Control X, enter, and we will, so if, as you can see, the file is created, but we cannot execute it. So we just need to change the mode, ch mode, and add executable to backup to sh. So now if I do ls-l, it's green now because it's executable. The X has been added. We will do the same here. So this time it's going to be this nano backup to server 1.sh. Enter. So it's the same script, just server 1, copy the folder of server 1 backup data to server 1, sorry, into this folder backup. So X, yes, ls-l, we need to change the folder, plus X backup to server 1. Enter, ls-l, okay. And so we can now, we have the script, we need to do the same here, ch mode plus X backup script, ls-l. We can see that it's now green. So we're gonna try and launch the script. To launch the script, we just do this. Error syntax backup script line 48. So okay, so I changed the file. There was an error. It was like this. I just changed it like this. And okay. So now if I try to connect server 1, yep, exit server 1 at server 1, where it's the same, server 2 at server 2, okay, make sure that everything works. Okay, I can connect. So now I'm gonna launch the script, sudo backup script. Okay, yes, okay. So now, as you can see, the server 1 is online. This will be just because it's the first time we're launching the script. So it copied all this data to server 1, backup complete on server 1. If we go and do ls-l again, as you can see, the data folder has been created. And if we go in it, we can see that all the files have been copied. Now, I'm gonna shut down this one, this computer, this server 1, sudo shutdown now, and relaunch the script to see how it works. Normally, it's gonna send the data on server 2 because server 1 is shut down. So it's gonna take a little bit longer because it tries to ping server 1. As you can see, server 1 unreachable, backing up on server 2. Server 2 is online. It's sending the data to server 2, and at the end, backup complete on server 2. And if we go back here, as you can see, the data has been downloaded. cd data -l, and we have all the files and folders. And if we enter a file, we can see this is a simplified text. It's all the same. So it's all the same. Now I'm going to see what happens if I shut down this computer, server 2. So server 1 and server 2 are down. So those two servers are down. It's going to write an error into the computer. If both servers are down, sends error in error file. So I'm going to relaunch again the backup script. You will see that we will have more lines. So server 1 unreachable, backing up at server 2. Server 2 unreachable as well, and error log in error log.txt. And this text file is in the same place as the data. So if we go to data, we can see the error log here. So if we go and enter the error log, we can see the error log has been sent. This date, server 1 and server 2 are offline. If we want to change the location of the error log, we just have to change the location on the backup script. So here, the error log will be sent only on fault tolerance. That's okay. So here we have nothing. I'm going to relaunch the script. Okay, and the error log will be sent here on the same folder as we are right now. And we can see the error log here. Now relaunch the script again. We will have two errors in the script, back in the log file. So our script works. Now I'm gonna power on server 1 and server 2 to create the Crontab, so to automatically send the data to server 1 and server 2. So I'm going to do Crontab -e to create the Crontab. So there's no Crontab on for the user computer. So I'm going to create one. So just type enter. Okay, so we are in the Crontab right now, and I'm going to copy this file, this line. So what does it mean? So every 2 minutes, this 2 is 2 minutes. So every 2 minutes, the Crontab needs to launch this backup script. So this is the path of the backup script. That's all. Enter, Control X, save, yes. And if we do Crontab -e again, we can see the file, it has been saved. So now every 2 minutes, the script, this script here will be launched automatically without us noticing. So if I'm gonna log back in on server 1 and server 2, Okay, server 1, server 2, cd backup ls-l. We have the data. I'm going to remove it to let the script work. So I have nothing, and every 2 minutes the script will be launched to server 1. I'm going to remove the data from here too. cd backup ls-l. As you can see, there's data. I'm going to remove it. Okay, no more data. Okay, here, as you can see, the data has been uploaded because the script worked. So the script in the Crontab has been launched every 2 minutes, and so now we have the data here. We can see, if we go in it, there's the data. So, oh, nope, sorry. cd backup. I'm going to remove the data again. No more data, and in 2 minutes the data will be back here again. So I removed it from here. I'm going to create the Crontab on the server 1 for it to send the data to server 2. Crontab server 1, I'm going to create one, enter, and this time I'm going to add this line, so it's the same, just the path is different. So every 2 minutes, launch the script back up to server 2. Control X, yes. S-L back up to server 2, and there's the data again because the script from computer works. And because I updated the Crontab on server 1, this folder will be sent to this folder in 2 minutes. And I'm gonna do the Crontab on server 2-e, enter, create it, and I'm gonna add this line, and my script is on Control X. And as you can see, the data has been sent from server 1 to server 2 automatically with the Crontab. And that's how it works. That's how we created fault tolerance infrastructure with VMs on VirtualBox. Thank you.